So thank you so much, Ravi sir. Thanks so much for the FeFCon organizers, especially
Before
Dr. Manjula.
starting,
Yeah.
Vikram, I'm just interrupting. Dr. Basaraj
Sure.
is here, so we'll just invite him, please.
Sir, please go ahead, sir. I am in flight.
Thank you, Basav.
Yes, sir.
Vikram, you can continue. Sorry for the interruption.
Okay. No problem. Thank
Go
you
ahead,
so
go
much.
ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, FeFCon organizers, especially Dr. Manjula and Dr. Jagdish. It's a privilege. Dr. Krishna Kumar, thank you so much for this opportunity and chance. So, this was a very interesting topic given to me for 10 minutes. Only in the last 1 week or so, I realized the magnitude of problem that we are dealing with. Thank you so much. So I would begin my introduction. So the topic was global warming and fever. I have nothing to disclose because I'm not an ecologist or an epidemiologist. I'm just a person who's interested in reviewing the latest article. So I thought I'll just go through with this article. So what is the link between climate challenge or climate change, global warming and fever? A failure to slow global warming is providing many deadly diseases with its ever expanding reach, especially the vector-borne diseases. So to the extent that climate change is brewing as a bona fide public health emergency is what the World Economic Forum has come out with. So let's do a very quick short review of this amazing article, which came out just about a month ago. It's a brand new paper from the team of University of Hawaii. Fortunately, I had one of my very good Twitter friends who was their health consultant, and he shared this paper, and I had a very good discussion with him about this paper. And many of us know, or we have known for a long time, the many pathways through which climate affects our health. But this group conducted a systematic review, and to really dive in and to look at the literature, they looked at these 10 different aspects related to climate change, the most important being global warming, which is the base of the pyramid for all the problems now, most of the problems that we are encountering. Apart from that, they also looked into global warming leading to problems in oceans, change in the sea surface temperature, so on and so forth. So these were the physical attributes that they looked into in the systematic review. And this is a very, very busy slide that this team essentially found over an amazing 1,000 unique pathways through which climate affects, especially global warming affects our health, causes altered dynamics in human pathogens. As you all can see, the most common is the vector-borne disease, which is directly affected by the global warming, followed by waterborne. And they also found it's not just infectious disease, rather mostly infectious disease, but also some non-infectious communicable diseases like raised incidence or raised probably at higher risk of developing rheumatological and immunological diseases across the world in the coming decades. So they found the connections across 1,006 pathways after searching around 77,000 papers. So they found out that almost 58 to 60% of all the infectious diseases and other human pathogens were directly related to global warming, climate change associated. And because it is vector-borne disease that they found out to be the most commonly affected increase in the coming decades, it boils down to mosquitoes and ticks. And I'm sure there are differences between us and ticks or flies, mosquitoes, that we don't fly, and I'm sure none of us in the audience suck blood. But mosquitoes are cold-blooded, and so its body temperature is that of its surroundings, and a small shift in the temperature can make a world of difference in the transmission dynamics for vector-borne diseases. And here in India, we're already seeing, or we've seen more than average rainfall that we did in the last 50 to 100 years. So we are getting much more flashier as far as heavy rainfall and water contamination, vector-borne diseases and airborne diseases. I would like to introduce you to this screenshot. I mean, you can all take the screenshot of this amazing website. You get to see an interactive display of these 1,006 different pathways. If you just click on this URL, you will be directly, or rather you'll be redirected to this interactive display wherein you have 1,006 different pathways. And so if you go on that link, you can click on any of these little spaghetti noodle kind of pathway, and you can see a full display of different diseases, probably their vectors, and also the papers that are published, everything related to that. I spent around 1 hour on this and really was mind boggled to see the connection between the underlying global warming, climate change, and its manifestations in the form of increased diseases. So what have I observed locally? I'm sure many of you can endorse this opinion. I mean, for me, because I stay in a region called Malnad, we have seen, for instance, monkey fever, which is Casanova forest disease, was rare and was affecting only those who interacted with the animals, especially the forest dwellers. But monkeys are now forced to move into the human settlements, exposing an entire community to infection, and we've seen that happening. And because given the fact that we don't really have good data coming up from the government sources, so we don't really know the magnitude, but I'm sure KFD has increased in the last 5-6 years. And scrub typhus, tick bite fever, I'm sure all of us have seen this happening. Most of our general wards, infectious disease wards, and also ICUs are filled with children who have scrub typhus. I don't even want to speak about dengue, because all of us have seen a lot of dengue because of various global climate challenges. And I tried to search for quite a bit for Indian articles on the effect of climate change or global warming on the prevalence or epidemiology of infectious diseases. But believe me, I couldn't find even a single, I mean, not many good substantiated articles, good peer-reviewed articles. So anyways, I just came across this article by a team from BHU, Banaras Hindu University, where they found out, especially in kids, that 18% of infectious diseases, I mean, they had certain limitations, but around 18 to 25% of limitation, I mean, 18 to 25% of infectious diseases, especially respiratory infections, were directly attributable to global warming and underlying climate factors. I will just finish my talk by citing few anecdotes in the next 3 or 4 slides. The common, I mean, in the last 2-3 years that have come up big time, cholera is making a grand comeback. WHO states that it used to be limited to just 20 countries in the last 5 years, according to reports on an average. But this year it's already creating havoc, or rather created havoc in more than 29 countries. The countries at the forefront have been that have been bearing the brunt are Syria, Malawi, Haiti, and also not to mention Yemen. And this is an interesting thing that we have found, that I found out, that skin is directly affected by global warming because it's the largest organ, and there can be a significant problem to the dermatological health, especially in a tropical country like India. There can be more abnormal colonization of bacteria that can lead to all sorts of problems in the form of impetigo, scabies, that can predispose to various invasive bacteriological infections. Another interesting thing wherein global warming directly affects the sleep. So research suggests that rising temperatures can disrupt sleep and blunt immune responses and make someone more predisposed to developing infectious diseases. Malaria and Vibrio, I mean non-cholera Vibrio, studies have shown that there has been a significant increase, more than almost 40% increase in number of months suitable for malaria across the highland areas of world since 1950. And non-cholera vibrio bacteria, again, the conducive environment has been there and has been ever increasing since 2011. Last is something that I came across called as Alaska pox. Now that we are used to listening to monkey pox, we are all used to chicken pox and kind of stuff. But Alaska pox again probably is going to pose a threat in the coming decades. It was confined to permafrost that was in Alaska. Because of rapid change in Arctic temperatures, there has been an increase in the population of vole. Vole is a kind of small rodent. So, and there has been a shift of the epidemiology of Alaska pox, and it has affected around 5 to 10 people in the last 2 years. Fortunately, none of them have been serious or dead. We'll have to wait and watch how it unfolds. There have been, of course, other looming threats. Typhoid, which was probably more commonly seen in Africa and Asia, has started spreading, and Europe, USA, and UK will have to be on their heels. Not to mention an already ongoing epidemic of Ebola and monkeypox. Ebola, especially in the African countries, northern African countries, and also monkeypox across the world. The other real danger, real world danger would be rabies, because of change in the forest and also change in the habitat. Wildlife carrying the rabies virus are now have more access to urban and human population. I'm sure Sukumaran sir would agree that there was a deadly Nipah virus epidemic, which was quite well controlled about 4 years ago. Listening to the way Indian government handled gave me goosebumps, because the secondary attack rate of Nipah virus was so high that amongst the 26 people or so who were infected, 22 died. And so these are certain looming threats. So I would just end with this take-home message that as healthcare providers, healthcare workers, I think we can start cleaning from our own homes. So we'll try to prioritize decarbonization in the health sector and global health practice. This is an amazing way adapted by FeFCon to go green, because the amount of carbon footprint that we leave by having physical conferences is mind-boggling if you do certain math and statistics. So this is an amazing initiative that you'll have taken, and thanks so much for this opportunity. I consider it as a privilege. Thank you so much.